everyone again and welcome back to our online class. So this is Monday, right? How was your weekend? It was good. Did you go somewhere on the weekend on Saturday and Sunday? Did you go anywhere with your families, with your friends? Or did you do something special? Like did you have any party with your friends or any party with your family? I hope you did, and I hope you had a great time on the weekend. So this is Monday and this is the first day of the week, right? Okay, so today on Monday and Tuesday, as you always know, according to our class schedule, we are going to study about Blueprint2, right? Blueprint2. But before starting our lesson, like I always did, let's review what we have learned last week, right? So last week on Friday, we learned about what book? Speaking Tutor 1A, right? So what did you learn from that lesson on Friday last week? So we learned about how to create questions, right? You have the word when, so when we ask about time. You have the word where, so where you ask about place, right? And we have the word who, so who we ask about people, right? And we have the word why we ask about reasons. And we also have the word how, right? So today in our grammar lesson today, we are going to specify. We will go specifically to the word how plus adjective, okay? So today, as I tell you earlier, we are going to study about Blueprint2, right? Blueprint2. So we are on unit 2, right? I'm sorry, lesson 2, right? Can you remember what is the title of lesson 2? How are you doing, right? And the grammar point that we are going to learn today is be with how, an adjective, and also empty it. So what does mean empty it? What is it? We will go through each point one by one altogether. So without any further delay, let's go to the grammar point. So today we are going to study about grammar in our lesson 2, unit 1. So we are going to study about be with how. So how do we use be? Be here means verb to be and is are. So how do we use with how and then adjective? And then at the end of the lesson, we are going to study about empty it. Okay, so let's go to the first point. So here you can see how plus be plus subject. I'm sure you know how to ask this kind of question, right? For example, how are you? You know, right? So this is how we create questions with how, verb to be, and then subject. How are you? How am I doing? How is your brother? So how, here, am here, is here is verb to be, right? And subject, you, I, and your brother. So this is very easy, right? Just want to review you. Okay, so this is how we use how plus be plus adjective. Let's go to the second point, which is a little bit more important than the first point. It is how plus far, how plus long, how much, how many, how old, and then plus be and then plus subject. So let's go through to each one by one altogether. So how far? So what kind of question that you want to ask? What is your purpose when you ask how far? So how far we ask about the distance, right? For example, how far is it to the movie theater? How far is the stadium? So you want to ask the distance between you here to the place that you are going to go, that you want to go, right? So how far is the cinema? How far is the park? So you ask about the distance, okay? You know distance, right? So how far, and then how long? So how long we can ask about the period of time, right? For example, you say, how long is the class? It's 2 hours. So you ask about the period of time, you ask about the duration. Example, how long is the movie? So for example, when your friend calls you to go to watch a movie and then you are not really so free, and then you ask your friend, how long is the movie? I'm so busy, okay? So you ask about the period of time, right? So how long? So we use how far to ask about the distance and how long to ask about the duration, the period of time. And then how much? How much? So when I say how much is it? Okay, how much is it? So you ask about the quantity, right? You ask about the quantity. But you have to remember that when you use how much, it always followed by uncountable noun. For example, you say, how much money do you have? How much water do you want to drink? So money and water are uncountable noun. You cannot put countable noun after how much. You cannot say how much people. No. How much student? No. So how much followed by uncountable noun. How much milk do you want to drink? How much money do you want to pay for me today? Okay, so how much we ask about quantity and it followed by uncountable noun. And also how many. So how much and how many, some students they are confused, want to use how much and want to use how many. So as I told you, how much is followed by uncountable noun, but how many we have to follow by countable noun, right? For example, how many people are there in your family? So people is countable noun, right? How many students in my class? How many students in your class? How many family members in your family? Okay, so we ask about the quantity and the noun should be countable noun. But one thing that you need to remember, you have to remember it, because I saw a lot of students making this mistake. When you see the word how many, the noun here, yes, as I told you, countable noun, but it has to be plural. So how many people? People is plural, right? Not person. Person singular, people plural. For example, you want to put the word student here. If you say how many students, is it correct? No, right? You have to make the word student becomes plural. How many students? How many people? How many players? Okay? How many teachers? How many boys? How many girls? How many homes? How many tables? So after how many you have to use the plural. Okay, if you use singular noun it will be incorrect. Okay, wrong. Let's go to the last one. How old? I'm sure you know how to use how old, right? So we ask about age, right? For example, how old is this temple? You know temple, right? In Cambodia we have a lot of temples. Okay, like Angkor Wat Temple, Bayon Temple, Previhe Temple. There are a lot of temples, right? So all we ask about age, right? So now let's review what we have learned so far. So how far, we ask about distance, right? How far is it, or how far is the football stadium? How long, we ask about the period of time, right? How long is this game? How long is this class? Okay. How much, we ask about quantity and it has to follow by uncountable noun. How much money do you have in your pocket? How many, we ask about quantity too, but we have to follow by countable noun, right? For example, how many markers do I have? I have only one marker, okay? But after how many, you have to use plural nouns. If you use singular noun, how many marker, it is wrong. How many markers? Okay. How old, we ask about age. How old are you? How old is she? How old am I? Okay. Let's go to the next point. Subject plus be plus adjective. I'm sure you know how to use this one, right? For example, she is industrious. You know industrious, right? We study on Thursday, right? We study a short story, A Slothful Son. So what does mean industrious? What is it? Okay, so industrious, if you are an industrious person, it means you work so hard, right? He is indolent. He is indolent. He is subject, is verb to be, and then indolent adjective. What does mean indolent? So indolent means you have no interest in anything around you. You feel so lazy to do anything. Ratana is incredible. So incredible, like I told you, when we use the word incredible to describe a person, it means that person is extremely good, right? So Ratana here is subject, is verb to be, and incredible adjective. One more word that is similar to the word incredible is unbelievable, right? It is extraordinary. Here we read extraordinary. Extraordinary. What does mean extraordinary? So extraordinary means something that is very, very special, right? So very, very special. So it is a subject, is here is the verb to be, extraordinary is the adjective. We are painstaking. We are painstaking. So painstaking, like we learned last week on Thursday, painstaking means if you are painstaking, it means you are extremely careful and extremely correct. You always want to do anything so much, you use a lot of effort, okay? And then the last one, I am slothful. So slothful means lazy, right? So slothful is an adjective, am is verb to be, I is subject, right? So this is the form subject plus be plus adjectives. I'm sure you know how to use it, right? So you can try to create more sentences so that you can increase your vocabulary, especially the vocabulary that we learn, right? Like industrious, indolent, incredible, painstaking, slothful. And today, I'm sure that some of you have already learned one more new word, right? Extraordinary, extraordinary, extraordinary. So the stress is here, right? So extraordinary is a combination between the word extra and ordinary, but we read extraordinary, okay? Not extraordinary, 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 okay? So now let's go to the last point about empty it. So what does mean empty it? So basically empty it, I mean in some sentences when you see the word it always replaces a noun. For example, you say, is it a dog? Yes, it is. So yes, it is. It here, it means a dog, right? It replaces a noun. But empty it means the word it here means nothing. Nothing. It refers to nothing. Okay? So when we talk about weather, when we talk about day or date, when we talk about time, or when we talk about the distance, we always use empty it. For example, you ask, how's the weather today? How is the weather today? It's a beautiful day. So it here is an empty it because it doesn't refer to anything. It's a beautiful day. How's the weather? It's a beautiful day. It is sunny today. It is foggy. You know foggy, right? Foggy always happens during the winter and mostly it happens only in the morning. When it is foggy, it means there are a lot of, it's a kind of smoke. We cannot see each other clearly. That's we call foggy. Or we can say, it's not really a beautiful day, it is rainy today, you know rainy, right? So it here is empty it. And then when we ask about day or date, example, what day is it? What day is it today? It's Monday, so today is Monday, right? So it here is empty it. And also about date, what is the date? So it's May the 4th. So today is May the 4th, right? So it here is also a date. Let's go to the time. So time, what time is it now? It's 6 o'clock. So it here is empty it. And the last one is distance. How far is it to the stadium? It's 7 kilometers here. Here in Khmer we call kilometer, but in English we did kilometers. Kilometers, not kilometers. Kilo. So the stress is on the second syllable. Kilometers, kilometers. It's 7 kilometers. So it here is empty it, right? But you may want to ask, why do we need to study about empty it? The meaning of the lesson of empty it doesn't mean anything, but they just want to tell you that they are empty it. Okay? They just want you to know that it is empty it, right? But it doesn't mean anything, right? For example, how's the weather? You know how to answer, right? How is the weather today? Oh, it is a nice day. You know how to answer. You use empty it, but you don't know that it is empty it. Now you know it, okay? So let's review again. So empty it when we talk about weather, when we talk about day or date, when we talk about time or we talk about distance, we use empty it, right? It here is empty it. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't replace a noun, right? Okay, so now we have finished our lesson. Be with how and adjective and also empty it. Okay, so before we end our video, I would like to give you the homework. So if you have the Blueprint2 book, this is your homework. Open your book on page 11 about grammar point, and under the grammar point you will see exercise E. So exercise E, there will be 13 exercises from number 1 to number 13, and you have to do it. The first one is you have to match the answer to the question. So here, this is the answer, and these are the questions. Okay, so you have to read and then match. And then this one, they give you the answers, and you have to create the sentences. I'm sorry, the questions. Okay, so if you don't have the book, don't worry. In the video, I will show you the picture so that you can do it into your notebook. Okay, so that's all of our lesson today, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.